ये बहुत टाइम बाद नया वीडियो बना रहा हूँ मैं एंड ट्राइंग टू मेक इट ऑन द वर्ल्ड कप. So World Cup is going gung ho and India is winning all the games it's playing. Strong games hai, no game is like one-sided. Batting click हो रही है, bowling is getting clicked. 4 games, 4 different man of the matches. Top order is making runs, middle order hasn't got the chance to make big runs except for the first game against Australia where we have a 5 for 3. The lower middle order hasn't been tested yet, and we're still trying to figure out what will be our 11 for the game against New Zealand, because Hardik Pandya is out injured. I'm just hoping that there is just small niggle and it's not a big injury, and he's back for the game against England on the 29th. But for the game against New Zealand on this Sunday, it's a big question mark. What should be the combination? Should we go with 6 batsmen and 5 bowlers, or 5 batsmen and 5 bowlers and then 1 all-rounder? The match is in Dharmshala, where supposedly the ball doesn't turn a lot, so not make sense to go with 3 spinners. So maybe Ashwin doesn't get a chance to come in, so maybe one of the options could be to get Surya instead of Hardik Pandya, and then maybe get Shami in place of Shardul. And this will be a little tricky, that will have just 6 batsmen and 5 bowlers, or at least 6 proper batsmen, and 7th batsman will be Jadeja, which is quite okay, but there will be 4 and number 11s. But hopefully, given the form that Indian top order and middle order is in, we will not need to go below number 6 and number 7. But again, you never know what Indian team thinks. Probably they might just go with 5 batsmen, which means top 5 remain the same. Number 6 is Jadeja, and maybe an Ashwin gets a look in. So 3 spinners and 3 fast bowlers. Like Shami comes in place of Shardul and Ashwin comes in place of Hardik. So that again, little batting cushion until number 7. 5 Rahul at 5. Jadeja at 6. Ashwin at 7, which is still okay. Ashwin versus Shardul. Shardul isn't being that good of a bowler right now, that he can bowl 10 good overs even on a helpful pitch. Since yesterday Hardik was out injured, he bowled 6 overs I think, or 7 maybe. But on a given day against strong batting team lineup like New Zealand, Shardul Thakur in current form, I don't think he'll be bowling more than 3 or 4 overs. And since the skills of Hardik Pandya, that there are very less replacements, or the kind of balance he brings to the team, it's going to be very, very difficult to replace Hardik Pandya with a like-for-like replacement. Since Hardik is out only for 1 game, I think the best case will be to replace him with 2 players, 1 batsman and a bowler. And that kind of explains how important Hardik Pandya is for Indian team balance. But we have a day before the game happens, and today morning we had a cracker of a game between Australia and Pakistan. Australia's campaign is back on track after 2 dispiriting losses against India and South Africa, where Australian batting lineup failed to even touch the 200 mark. But even today, if you see, if you take out the top 2, where the birthday boy Mitchell Marsh scored 108, and then David Warner scored 163. If you take that out, the rest of the batting lineup struggled. There were 258 without loss in 33 overs, and then the last 9 wickets just could add 108 runs within 16 overs. So yeah, if we take out that top 2 contribution, the Australian batting lineup is still a problem. And even though the bowling under lights was a little problematic, They struggled to get the first wicket, but once the first wicket fell for Abdullah Shafiq, and as you know, the Pakistan batting order is so fragile that the rest of them folded up for just like 161 runs. Uh, Chasing 368, even though on a flat pitch like Bengaluru Chinnaswamy Stadium is still a difficult task, and when you don't have the batsman going for risky shots, or like having a little bit of innovation, or the team management is hell bent on sticking to the same batting order. There is no improvisation when your captain scores only against weaker opposition, and when it's called Zimbabwe, he doesn't make runs against stronger teams. That's going to happen. That the teams will lose more matches than they win. And then Pakistan started with a horrendous fielding effort. That was funny to watch. The new guy Usama Mir drop a catch of Warner at 10, and then he goes on to make 153 more runs, and that explains how you have to grab your catches. Australia did get Zampa back in form, so now he's got 4 wicket hauls back to back against Sri Lanka, and then now against Pakistan. The next game is against Netherlands, so that will give them a little breather that they have an easy match. Hopefully, Netherlands will not be able to defeat Australia. Australia are coming back to their elements, even though they're, like I said, batting and bowling still remains a little tricky, and if they want to go all the way to the semi-finals, then I think they have to improve their batting, and they want to have some more runs from the top 3, especially from Steve Smith. Once he made 40 odd runs against India, I think 46. After that, he has not been able to replicate even little sense of form. Like he made 7 today, he was out on duck against Sri Lanka, and then I think against South Africa too, he didn't make a lot of runs. So coming back to Pakistan, they made some changes, but then again, when your spinners are like makeshift all-rounders, or they operate in T20 mode, you cannot compete in a 50-over World Cup like that. Like Babar Azam, lot of PR happens around him that he's equivalent to Kohli, and Kohli, his batting stats might be very much close to what Kohli has, but then again, if you see the quality of a position against which the runs Babar makes, you would see that Babar makes runs against weaker opposition. Like last he made 100 against Nepal in Asia Cup, and after that he just crossed 150 mark against India, and that was Karachi. Today his team needed him the most, but he was out for 18 runs of 15 balls, and when your captain doesn't make runs, or your vice captain Shadab Khan was the vice captain, but he was dropped, so maybe Rizwan was the vice captain today, I don't know. He was scratchy. He made 40 odd runs, but then again, no improvisation, no sixes, no big hits. Only big hits came from Iftikhar Ahmed, yeah, and then he was out to Zampa, and the rest of them just followed the suit. So Pakistan doesn't look to be very confident, or doesn't look to be very inspiring that they will be able to reach semi-finals. There has been lots and lots of criticism about them. There are a lot of YouTubers, so-called experts, talking about how Babar Azam has assembled a team of his friends. Now, I'm not a follower of Pakistan cricket politics, so I'm not sure how that happens. But assuming that Pakistan does make it to the semi-finals, they will have to bat really, really well, and then their new bowling attack will have to come into the forms. Now, Shaheen Shah Afridi did take 5 wickets, but then that was in the later part of the innings, mostly in the back end of the innings. He would want to get his new ball mojo back, supposedly to compete, because they have some big games coming up against South Africa, New Zealand, and England. The 2 tough games are over, and they have lost both of them. So if they want to win, they will want to win big against all the difficult oppositions like New Zealand, England, and South Africa, if they want to go all the distance. Otherwise, given the form they have showed for last 2 games, my reckoning is Pakistan will not be able to make it to the semi-finals. So we still have a day before we go and see India game. Hopefully, India will be able to defeat New Zealand and take a sweet revenge of 2019 semi-final, which turned out to be the last game of MS Dhoni. But in Indian conditions, overall, if you see the record, 30 ODIs have been played in India between India and New Zealand, and India has won 23 out of them. That's a big mismatch. 23 wins and 7 losses. And they have played last 9 one-days. If I'm right, they won 3-0 in 2016-17, and then 3-0 at the start of this year. And then once was in 2021 when India played New Zealand under Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid just after 2021 World Cup. So I think this should be a good game, and the winner of this game will be the only team that will be undefeated, because both teams have won 4 games each and they are on the top 2, New Zealand on 1 and India on 2. So whoever team wins the game, they will be on top and the only undefeated team by the end of 5 games or all of them. So yeah, we'll be back making the video after that game, and hopefully we'll be able to make more videos and on consistent and regular basis. Till then, peace.